My professor told us the final exam would be anonymous. Halfway through, he started reading answers aloud and naming the students who wrote them. Dr. Brennan taught advanced statistics at our state university, the kind of professor who wore his PhD like a weapon. First day of class, he told us to look left, look right, because 2 of us wouldn't make it to finals. He wasn't joking. When he handed out the final exam, his smirk was already in place. Write your student ID number only at the top, no names. This exam is completely anonymous, so answer question 5 with complete honesty. No fear of judgment or retaliation. Question 5 sat at the bottom of page 3. What could this course improve to better serve student learning? I stared at that question for a full minute. Then I wrote 3 paragraphs about his condescending teaching style, how he mocked students who asked questions during lectures, how he'd once told a girl her confusion was why women shouldn't pursue STEM fields, how his office hours felt like interrogations designed to make you feel stupid for needing help. I wasn't the only one who unloaded. 20 minutes into his grading session while we worked on problem sets, Brennan's face went from pale to deep red. He stood up slowly, exam clutched in his fist. Well, seems we have some very honest feedback here. His voice had that edge that made everyone stop writing. Student ID 847292 Vanessa Chen wrote that I'm creating, and I quote, a hostile learning environment that prioritizes humiliation over education. Vanessa's face drained of all color. She was pre-med, needed this class, needed the grade. Brennan continued reading her entire 3-paragraph answer out loud, his voice dripping with theatrical sarcasm. He added commentary between sentences. Oh, apparently I made her cry during office hours. How absolutely devastating for poor Vanessa. The class sat frozen. This was a nightmare. He'd promised anonymity, weaponized our honesty, and was now publicly destroying students one by one. He grabbed another exam. Tyler Morrison, student ID 931847, believes I should stop making examples of students who struggle with basic concepts. Tyler, a junior who worked 2 jobs and took care of his younger brother, sank lower in his seat. Brennan performed an exaggerated reading, pausing to ask Tyler directly if he'd like to elaborate on his struggles in front of everyone. Tyler's ears were bright red. He shook his head, unable to speak. Brennan was enjoying himself now. Anyone else want to claim their brave anonymous feedback? No? How about student ID 621903, Luis Vargas, who thinks my teaching methods are outdated and cruel? Luis stared at his desk, jaw clenched. Then Brennan reached for another exam. His hand hovered over it. Something in his expression shifted. The smugness flickered. He picked it up, read the first line, and his face changed completely. The room went dead silent. You could hear the fluorescent lights humming overhead. Brennan read it once, then again. His hand started to shake slightly. When he finally spoke, his voice had lost all its edge. Student ID 284719, Rebecca Okafor. He paused. Rebecca sat in the back corner. Always early, always prepared, but she'd been missing classes lately. She writes, my 7-year-old daughter Amara was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia 4 months ago. Your Tuesday-Thursday class is the only 90 minutes twice a week where I'm not in a hospital room watching poison drip into my child's veins. It's the only time I feel like a person instead of just a terrified mother. The classroom had gone from silent to suffocating. Brennan continued reading, and his voice cracked slightly. But you've managed to turn even this into another place where I'm failing, where I'm not good enough. I stayed enrolled because I need this credit to maintain full-time status for the financial aid that's covering Amara's medical bills, the bills that are destroying us. But you've made me hate the one thing that used to make me feel capable and smart. You've taken my only escape and turned it into another source of shame. He set the paper down on his desk. His hand was visibly trembling now. For 10 seconds, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. There's more, Brennan said quietly. She writes, I missed the midterm because Amara had a seizure during chemo. You told me via email that medical emergencies are not your problem and that I should have planned better. You gave me a 0. That 0 means I need a 97 on this final just to pass. I studied while my daughter slept between treatments. I have flashcards covered in her crayon drawings because she wanted to help mommy study. Someone in the front row sobbed. Brennan looked at Rebecca, tears running down her face, chin raised. She wasn't ashamed. I practiced in hospital waiting rooms. I got a 98 on this final, but you'll still say I'm not good enough. Here's my feedback. You are a cruel man who mistakes fear for respect and pain for motivation. He set the exam down. Class dismissed. Grades will be curved. Exams returned Monday.